This YCN segment is brought to you by LaValley Building Supply and Middleton Building Supply.
This Wednesday evening game at the Maxfield Sports Complex in White River Junction, Vermont wasn't exactly an offensive showcase, as both starting pitchers were effective. The hosting Upper Valley Nighthawks sent St. Joseph University's junior Jordan DiValerio to the mound, while the visiting North Adams SteepleCats countered with St. Thomas Aquinas College's junior Chris Cepeda. In the first inning, DiValerio looked strong for the Upper Valley as he went 1-2-3 with a strikeout. In the bottom of the first, Nighthawks leadoff man lefty Chris Berry turned on a pitch for a double to right field. His teammates managed to load the bases after a walk and a hit by pitch, but North Adams Cepeda recorded a strikeout and a couple of pop-ups to get out of the jam. To begin the second, DiValerio continued his dominance. He did walk a man but didn't allow anyone else to reach. In the bottom of the frame, however, the Nighthawks got on the board after Davis Mikel led things off with a base hit, and Tyler Adcock also added his own knock as the Hawks had men on the corners. A pass ball allowed Adcock to score, but that's all they would get, as after 2 innings, the Upper Valley was up 1-0. In the third, DiValerio threw another scoreless frame while stranding a runner on second base. And in the bottom of the third, the Nighthawks managed to load the bases again after a walk and singles from Anthony Quirion and Anthony Maduri. But North Adams Cepeda got out of the jam once again after forcing a pop-up. Once 3 innings were in the books, the Nighthawks had left 7 men on base. To start off the fourth, DiValerio ran into a bit of trouble after an error allowed the SteepleCats to put men on the corners with just 1 out. A ground ball from Matt Koperniak drove in the equalizer, as the game was tied at 1 apiece. And then in the top of the 5th, North Adams took the lead after catcher Alex Rodriguez worked a leadoff walk, and Dylan Mendel drove him in with an RBI single. The Nighthawks bats went cold until the bottom of the 6th, when they managed to tie the game after Adcock ripped a double, and Chris Berry drove him in with his 3rd hit of the game. With 6 innings played, the score was all knotted up at 2-2. However, with DiValerio still on the mound in the top of the 7th, he gave up the go-ahead run after getting the first 2 outs. 3 straight men managed to hit singles, with one arguably the result of an error. But DiValerio didn't allow any major damage as he threw a very solid 7 innings. In the top of the 8th, with the SteepleCats now up 1, Woodstock native and Hartford High graduate Jordy Allard was put in for relief. Unfortunately, his defense didn't play well behind him, and after giving up a couple of hits, an unearned run came across the plate for the SteepleCats. So going into the bottom of the 9th, the Nighthawks were down 2-4. Upper Valley's leadoff man Chris Berry stepped up to the plate and took advantage of the twilight sky, as a pop-up fell in for the infielder's 4th hit of the game. Then number 2 hitter Austin Wilhite crushed a double, which also seemed to be aided by the sky, as Wilhite expected the ball to be caught initially running out of the box. So with men on second and third with no outs, the following 2 batters popped out weakly, as the game was then put in the hands of Ross Sedina. Ross worked a dramatic full count, and with 2 men on and 2 outs, he nailed a 2 RBI double, driving in the tying runs in heart-pounding fashion. And to cap off the night, outfielder Anthony Maduri drove in Sedina with a single, as the Nighthawks walked off with the 5-4 win. DiValerio went a strong 7 innings, allowing just 2 earned runs on the mound for the Upper Valley, while teammate Chris Berry went 4 for 5 at the plate. After the game, we spoke with Nighthawks manager Jason Savarsky to get his take on such an exciting win.
We stranded a bunch of runners early, got a great start out of Jordan. That's something we haven't had out of a starting pitcher, a good quality start. That's the longest we've had a starter goal all year. Threw well, 7 innings, and then got me worried stranding those guys early. And then even there, we get second and third, no out, 2 quick pop-ups, and then a couple big hits by Ross and Anthony. guys had good at-bats. I mean, their starter was capped at 75 pitches, so us being able to get him out a little bit earlier did a good job. So several guys, I mean, Davis had a hit. Chris Berry led off the game with a double, had another base hit, scored a run. So really those guys kind of sparked us a little bit today. Yeah, I mean, it's been like that. We've had a couple close games recently, and just them guys battling through, getting that 3-2 count with Ross, fighting out some tough pitches, and then taking the extra base and the throw home. Anthony's been huge the last couple weeks, so hopefully he can keep it going down the stretch. Tonight was a big one, just to keep pace with Sanford and Keenan Valley. And then we have 4 games of Sanford head-to-head. So hopefully we can play well against them and gain some ground.
The Nighthawks improved to 18-15, while the SteepleCats fell to 12-20. North Adams next travels to Winnipesaukee to take on the Muskrats, while the Upper Valley goes to Sanford to take on the Mainers.
Nighthawks 1, 2, 3, Nighthawks! Go Chili!